Good morning and welcome to StudyIQ, my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 19th September 2020. Day is Saturday. I would like to start today's discussion with this quote by Osho. Osho has said that life should not be taken as work but as play. Right? Take it as a play. The thought itself makes us happy, isn't it? That if we take everything with a smile, and if we face, let's say, if we go through rough times, then if we are laughing, then the rough time will get confused as well. Like, what's wrong with this person? I'm giving this person hard time and this person is laughing. You cannot do anything to this type of person who's taking the whole life as a play. That's what I think. What do you think about it? Stick your views. If you have any opinion on this thing, then I would love to hear from you as well, dear friends. On our table, we have four important articles. Something has gone wrong with my pen, so I'm using my mouse to highlight things. So things are not going to be in terms of, the things that I write on regular basis. You will miss this today, but I don't know what went wrong, something with software, so I have to reinstall everything, but that will take time. So I thought, let me bring this lecture out as quickly as possible, and then I can fix it later on, isn't it? So continuity in change. This one is about India and Japan. Reform friction. This article is about agri reforms. There are protests going on in a few parts of our country about these two bills. Afghan peace push, a role for India. This article is written by Rakesh Sood, who has worked as a former ambassador to Afghanistan, and the last one is about GST. Dear friends, the StudyIQ team has designed a smart course. This smart course is for Civil Services Examination. It covers your pre as well as mains examination, and to find out more about it, all you have to do is download our mobile application. Till 21st September 2020, EMI option is also available. You can download the PDF of today's lecture from my Telegram channel. You can follow me on Facebook as well. And as you can see, I'm using my mouse and the lines are not going right. Oh, okay, here we go. This is a reasonably straight line. Okay, so on your screen, the person that you can see, his name is Yoshihide Suga. He's the new Prime Minister of Japan. Shinzo Abe, his health is not great at present. He's going through some rough times. So he has decided to give this responsibility, or he has stepped aside from this post of Prime Minister, and his close associate, Mr. Suga, is the new Prime Minister of Japan. So let's quickly locate Japan. On your screen, this is Japan, island nation, right? One side you can see a North Pacific Ocean. On northern side you can see Sea of Okhotsk, and then you have here Sea of Japan, or East Sea. Philippine Sea is here. You can see Korea Strait, then South Korea, North Korea. Russia is not far from here. And if you go a little bit more eastern side, then you find USA as well. Japan is famous for time management, for its unique culture, outstanding culture. People are so kind. They are so, they're very kind when they talk with you. It's also famous for its honesty, time management. I already said, isn't it? Precision. Right? Japan is a country that, if you have developed a technology, right? Let's say if you have developed anything, right? If you have developed an engine, that if you want to refine that engine, if you want that precision in that engine, then Japan is a country that can do it. And most of this precision work goes to Japan. Japan is also on a very difficult terrain. Frequent earthquakes, tsunami is quite common thing. Earthquakes are quite common. Japan has so many of these volcanic mountains as well. And that's basically, I have given you a brief about Japan. I can go on, and if you're interested in it, then I would recommend you guys to go through. There are so many sources available. You can have a quick go at Japan's culture and Japan's Buddhism. It is famous for Buddhism, and there are so many other things, right? Now, Shinzo Abe was a very good he is in fact a very good friend of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And when you have two countries, people of Japan and people of India, they get along with each other very well. We have respect for each other, so that's a plus thing. On top, if you have two prime ministers who are sharing this bromance with each other. They are like brothers, whenever they meet, you can see this thing in their body language, in their eyes, that they genuinely care for each other, like good friends, like good buddies or brothers. So that was definitely an added advantage, but that thing we are going to miss. People say that Mr. Suga is going to continue, means he is going to maintain this continuity in relationship, not just with India, but with the whole world, right? So he's going to be, means whatever we used to see in Shinzo Abe's tenure, we are going to see something similar when it comes to relationship. His choice itself is an indicator of that continuity. Mr. Suga has been Chief Cabinet Secretary since 2012. He has been top spokesperson of this Liberal Democratic Party of Japan, and he is also a key implementer of all of Mr. Abe's policies. So yes, that is a positive sign that things are going to be in, means we are going to see this continuity. Big challenges in front of Mr. Suga. The first is reviving economy is going to be one big challenge. And, fighting COVID-19 is going to be another big challenge for him. US elections are going to take place in few weeks' time now. So the outcome, based on the outcome, he has to steer a relationship. If Biden comes in, then he has to, adjust his country or his policies as per Biden's, or there will be some sort of changes. And if Mr. Trump continues, then there will be considerable continuity. But still, I believe there are going to be few changes. So you have to prepare yourself. Every country, you have to prepare. This happens with every small or big country. But particularly when you have countries like USA, predominant players like USA, then of course you have to keep a close eye on elections, so that and you have to keep your options open. That if this happens, then you will do this. If this happens, then you are going to do this. So I'm sure this sort of things are already planned. So he will have to, do a little bit of customization and be ready for, or I would say accommodative stance would be the right word. China's growing aggressiveness, which is visible throughout Asia, right? We know what's going on between India and China. And a few days ago, we were talking about the South China Sea and East China Sea. Remember? So China's aggressiveness is something that is a big challenge for Japan. World economy is also not in a good shape. So that is going to be, additional challenge for Japan. Success of Tokyo Olympics is very important for Japan as a country, as a brand, right? I was talking about Japan's culture and precision and time management and things. So it is very important for the first time, if I'm not wrong, for the first time in the history of Olympics, it has been rescheduled. It was going to take place in Tokyo in 2020, but now it is rescheduled for July 2021. So he has to make sure, the government of Japan has to make sure that this Olympics 2021 Tokyo Games are a big success. Now for India, Mr. Abe's exit is a loss, and I hope that he will fill up this vacuum. Special strategic and global partnership is the name of the relationship that we share with Japan. We have this annual prime ministerial summits taking place since 2006. So every year, let's say this year, if Japanese Prime Minister will visit India, then next year's annual Prime Ministerial meeting will take place in Japan. So Indian Prime Minister will fly to Japan. So this is how it has been going since last 14 years. We are also part of this quadrilateral or quad, in which you have India, USA, Japan and Australia. And you see the trust that we share with each other in this relationship. Japan's parliament has given green signal to this India-Japan civil nuclear partnership. And without this, the American nuclear deal will not work out, because you see this Westinghouse and other companies, right? The parent company of this Westinghouse and other US companies is Toshiba and other big Japanese companies. So without this deal, this India-Japan civil nuclear deal, the success of India-USA deal is not possible. And Japan has given this green signal. Japan's parliament has given green signal to India. And this is very surprising because, see, Japan is the only country in the world that has faced nuclear bombs, isn't it? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And Japan's constitution is very specific about nuclear bombs, that you need to stay away from this sort of things. Okay? So, and not just these things, you have to stay away from those countries as well. India is a country that has not signed non-proliferation treaty. Right? We are the only country with a which has not signed. Means when I say only country, I mean to say that a country with which Japan is having this civil nuclear partnership. So a country like Japan signing this civil nuclear partnership with India, a country that has not signed NPT, that itself indicates that Japan and India's relationship are based on a very deep and strong pillar of trust. Foreign minister level meeting of Quad is going to take place next month in Tokyo. So at that point of time, things will be clear, right? Whether we are going to see this continuity. If yes, then how much, how deep it is going to be. Everything will be clear hopefully in this next meeting. Dear friends, please make sure that you share this lecture with other students. Hit the like button if you have learned something from today's discussion. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, Harshimrat Kaur Badal, she has resigned, and she was a food processing minister. The reason why she has resigned is that because of two bills. The first bill is about creating a viable alternative to agricultural market produce committees, that is APMCs. First point, right? Keep this thing in mind. And the second one is about facilitating contract farming. Now, first of all, I would like to share some basic facts about agriculture in India. The first point that I want you guys to remember, to by heart this point, is this one. 86% of farmers in our country, 86%, they fall under this category of small and marginal farmers. Right, 86%. Out of total farmers, if we have, let's say, 100 farmers in our country, then 86 farmers are marginal and small. Point number one. Point number two, 50% of Indian population. How much? 50%. Nearly 50% population is associated with agriculture, and this is the reason why our country is known as a Kheti Pradhan Desh. That means agriculture based economy. Our economy is known as agriculture based economy. Then one more thing, 60% of agriculture land is rain fed. That means it's directly dependent on rainfall. If we have a good amount of rainfall, we are going to see bumper production. If there is a drought or flood, then things are going to be on red, or it's going to be destructive. So these are a few things. Without understanding these things, you won't understand the situation of farmers in our country. Okay? These are a few basic things, of course. There are many more things that you can learn about farming and problems and challenges and opportunities, but these are some core basic facts. Now, just imagine if you're a small farmer. Can you afford drones? Of course no. Can you afford tractor? No. The problem in our country is that a farmer will buy everything in retail price, and he will have to sell his produce in wholesale price. This is, I think, the only business, and I believe it is only business in the world where you buy everything in retail price and you sell everything in wholesale price. This is strange. This itself indicates that you are going to fail. You're not going to make money out of it because you are buying things in retail and selling it in wholesale. So these two bills, right? The first one, APMC bill. Now, APMC, the problem with APMC is that you have to sell your items. A farmer has to sell his produce at APMC. You have to go to the marketing yard, and then you have to sell it to these traders that you find there. So in this APMCs, what we find is cartelization. They are like cartels are running here. So they will decide the price of cotton. They will purchase things at wholesale price from farmers, and they will sell it in retail market. The more people you have in this whole chain, right? So let me explain it to you using this. So let's say this is farmer here, and farmer will go to this middleman who is sitting in APMC, and then this person will sell it to a factory, and then this factory will do some process, and then finally that particular product will reach to a customer. So you can see you have two big steps here, and they are going to divide the profit. If farmer can sell his produce directly to a customer, then he is going to make more money, isn't it? If let's say if farmer is producing one thing for 1 rupees a kilo, he's selling this to 2 rupees a kilo. This person is selling to a factory for 10 rupees, and factory is selling 1 kilo or one item of that thing for 15 rupees, let's say. So farmer can directly sell it to a customer and charge 7 rupees, and then as well farmer will make more money than he used to make earlier on, and it will be beneficial for the customer as well. This is just one example. Then I myself, I have seen this thing. Transporting produce is a big headache. What happens is farmers, they have to stay outside this marketing yard for 2 days, 3 days, sometimes maybe 4 days, right? And I still remember, in my hometown, I visited my hometown, as I visit there nearly every 15 days. But the thing is, during this monsoon season, there were big, there was a very huge line. I'm talking about 3-4 kilometer long line of trucks and boleros and every other of this transport vehicles were there. And all of a sudden, they were carrying this groundnut. And there was groundnut. Yes, it was groundnut for sure. I think not groundnut. Sorry, it was wheat. Right, for sure, wheat. And all of a sudden, there was a heavy rainfall. Right, for a few minutes, maybe for a few minutes. When I say few minutes, I'm talking about 30-40 minutes. But there was this heavy rainfall. Now, I believe there are many farmers, right, their crop means it's destroyed because they were in that long queue. So this sort of things are quite common. This is just one example. Then you have to pay for transportation, and if you have to stay there for 2 days, then the transportation agency will charge you extra money as well. So your profit will come down. Instead of that, we can have this pickup system, or a truck can come to your place, your farm, whatever you want to sell, you do it online. You can book a sort of ride, and that ride will come to you, and you can load it up, and that's it. You are done. After that, insurance will look after your product. You already have got your money. You have received your money. You got your insurance as well for a very reasonable price, maybe 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 100 rupees maybe. But you get this insurance, and then you can have a good night's sleep. But this thing is not possible because of APMC. The problem with APMC is that monopoly, first thing. Second thing is politics, local politics. And I'm sure at present there are many states, they are protesting against this decision of the central government to come out with this bill. But states cannot, they are often hostage to this big farmers and middlemen lobbies. They are quite active in this APMC. So it is only the central government that can come out with this sort of reforms, and that's what central government is trying. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just explaining you things. If you go through a few other newspapers, then you will find so many negative things about it, because they are not talking. They will not take you through this APMCs and politics associated with APMC and cartelization. The second bill, contract farming. If 86% farmers in our country are small and marginal, that they cannot afford good technologies and good things, right? They do this subsistence farming. So just imagine a big company that has expertise in farming. That company can take over your land for few months or few years, right? You can have this contract with them. This company will collect this whole piece of land, and they will use their tractors, drones, and all those technologies and expertise, and they will do farming here, and they will there are chances they will, they need labor. So what they will do is they will hire that farmer. So that farmer will get money for the land as well as he will get salary as well. So it's going to be double benefit for the farmer. So contract farming can help. It has helped so many countries, and if we do the right thing, then yes, our farmers can make huge amount of money out of it as well. Now, if there are farmers and people who are saying that the government is going to end MSP, that is not possible at all, right? Government means everyone understands that MSP at present is a necessity. You have to protect farmers' interest. So no government in a country where 50% population is associated with agriculture. Can you imagine if a government can get rid of, means a government will eliminate MSP? That is not possible at all. The sad thing or the negative thing about the government's decision is this. Essential Commodities Act was removed a few months ago, but all of the sudden government has banned onion export. So what you are saying and what you are doing, if there is going to be a big difference in that, then people are not going to trust you, right? Policy, anyone can make good policy, right? Implementing that policy is the main thing, right? So here government has done this bad thing, and I genuinely believe that this is not right, that on one side you remove Essential Commodities Act, which is very important. That was a good decision. But all of a sudden you are banning onion exports. Even Bangladesh is not happy with India's this decision. So that's basically everything in this article. Moving on to the next one. It's about Afghanistan, peace push and role of India. A few days ago as well, we were talking about this topic. So I'm not going too much deep into it. I'm going to take you through most important stuff that we find in this article. On 12th of September, this meeting took place between Taliban as well as Afghanistan government. And this was part of this US-Taliban peace deal that was signed back in February 2019. I beg your pardon, 29th February 2020. It was a leap year. Right? This 2020 is a leap year, so that's why you have 29th February, okay? Not going too much deep into it, but you find this 29th February every 4 years. Okay, enough. Right, now, the meeting was supposed to take place on 10th March, but many hurdles were there in between because of misbehavior of Taliban, and at present as well we find consistent attacks are taking place. If you see here, I have one triangle for you. On one side you have, when it comes to Afghanistan, you have on one corner you have USA, on the other corner you have Taliban, and the other corner you have Pakistan. The question is, what about Afghanistan government? Because in the reports as well we don't find mention of Afghan government, and this itself indicates that it is in a very weak position. Originally, Ambassador Khalilzad had spelt out 4 objectives. One was end of violence by declaring a ceasefire. This thing has not taken place. An intra-Afghan dialogue for lasting peace. It's taking place with so many hiccups. The Taliban cutting ties with terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda, not taking place. US withdrawal, troop withdrawal, yes, this is taking place, and it is going to leave a big vacuum. And at present, the Taliban is in a very strong position. So this whole Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled reconciliation has turned out to be US-led and Taliban-controlled process. Taliban has released 1,000 members of Afghan security forces. Afghanistan authorities have released 5,000 Taliban people, and attacks are going on. If you see the statement of Dr. Abdullah, the chairman of High Council, he said that more than 12,000 Afghans have been killed and another 15,000 have been injured since the end of February 2020. So if you divide it, if you see the figure here, that in a week we find 80 attacks, right? So if you break it down, then we get what, 12 attacks per day, right? Roughly 12 attacks per day, or 11 to 12 attacks. And if we further break it down, then we find that every 2 hours you find a big attack taking place. So violence is going on over there, and I'm not sure whether we will find peace in near future. Sometimes USA behaves in a very strange way. On one side, it is against Taliban. On the other side, it is having discussion. Now, USA considers Taliban as a partner in counter-terrorism operations against ISIS. But there are reports saying that there are few pockets in Afghanistan where ISIS is conducting attacks, and these attacks are supported by Taliban. So this is a very strange thing. Anyway, as far as India is concerned, India's vision is clear. India wants to see Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled reconciliation. And for that, what we have to do is we have to work with those people in Afghanistan who are ready for this thing. And we have to work with some like-minded countries who are genuinely interested in Afghanistan's development, democracy and stability. Because USA is going to leave, and USA is going to leave because there is a politics as well associated with it. Last one is about GST Council. Now, dear friends, before I throw some light on this topic, I want to ask you that how many of you are watching daily financial news analysis on regular basis? If you are not, then I highly recommend you guys to watch it. Right, it is available on our YouTube channel. Daily Financial News Analysis is a series. It's about financial, business and economical news. I deliver that lecture, right, on an average it is 12 to 15 minute lecture in which I discuss important current affairs items with students on regular basis from Monday to Saturday, and it's very important for for any government exam, right, or for your general awareness as well, because newspapers like Hindu, Times of India, Express, other newspapers, right, they are not pink papers, they are not financial papers. So in these papers you don't find that in-depth analysis, but yes, in DFNA you will find it. So those students who are following DFNA, for them this topic is a revision, because we have talked about this thing. For new students, let me take you through it. So GST Council meeting is deferred till first week of October. A disagreement is going on between states and center, because central government has not paid the money to the center on time. And when this GST was introduced, at that point of time, this 14% annual growth in GST revenue was promised, but this thing is not taking place. We are, of course, going through a very rough and tough time. But center should fulfill its constitutional promise. Now, central government in last GST Council meeting has provided two options. Either states can borrow 97,000 crore rupees from Reserve Bank of India under a special window at a low rate of interest, or it can borrow 2.35 lakh crore rupees from the market. RBI is going to help them. When I say them, I'm talking about states. And the burden of payment will be on the future collections from the compensation cess. Now, revenue is going to be down by more than 20%. Corporate sector profits is going to be down. FMCG and e-commerce will do good, but other businesses like airlines, hotels, consumer durables are going to be in big losses. Income tax collection is going to be down because so many people have lost their jobs. So many small businesses are off. So income tax is going to be down. GST collection, of course, is going to be down. And your compensation collection is going to be down because even people with deep pockets, they are not going to spend that much after luxury and sin goods. So overall, incoming money for the government is going to be down. Your expenses are up. And even if states, if they borrow 2.35 lakh crore rupees, they would have an uncovered deficit of 4 lakh crore rupees. So things are going to be very difficult for states. And in this article, the bottom line is that the central government should borrow this money and distribute this money to the states so that will add that trust, that missing trust that we find that from last few meetings, the trust deficit is there. So that will, this borrowing by central and distributing will generate that trust, and that will be beneficial for our federalism as well, cooperative federalism. For that, it will be a good signal. And that's basically everything in today's discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video. Today is Saturday, tomorrow Sunday. So tomorrow my lectures will be off and I will directly meet you on Monday. Till then, enjoy your studies. God bless you all. Jai Hind.